Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
Up, TJ.
I hate you, Damien. Another episode of Trash Talk. I'm TJ O'Connor. With me, as always, Damien the Wolverine Hill. Trash Talk is joined tonight by Thomas the Train Peterson. And we're brought to you, as always, by our sponsors, Valhalla Combat Sports Incorporated, Ink Shrinks Tattoo, Origin Wellness CBD, Spartan Martial Arts, Striking Institute, James Clark Sports Psychology and Hypnosis Therapy, The Fighters, and my mom, Thomas Peterson. How you doing today, man?
Oh, it's always a pleasure to be on here with you guys, man. I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing well. I can't complain.
Doing good.
Yeah. What's Can I start?
What?
Let's talk about fucking Jimmy Barnes coming out there like a damn animal. This boxing fight. Did anybody see that coming?
Oh man,
dude, not at all. Not at all. I thought that he was probably gonna end up getting picked apart. You know, I knew he had the power to possibly knock out anybody, really, but it's just, does he have the timing and does he have the precision? You know, and it all plays down into that, and even if he throws the right punch with the right amount of power, it doesn't mean it doesn't get deflected or absorbed, like with them like leaning away from it doesn't have. I mean, that was the only way I thought it was going to happen, but he went out there.
I think he might have froze there, Damien. Would you repeat that one more time? I'm sorry, man.
From the beginning.
Just, you were saying that you didn't expect it, but then it kind of cut out when you were saying what he did.
Damn, that's the beginning. All right. Now, so anyhow, he I didn't expect him to go out there and do what he did. What I was expecting was him to go out there and try to get the knockout, but just pretty much by brawling, not necessarily by outboxing his opponent, which is what he did, you know, and answering back with every single strike. It was amazing, you know. I expected him to get picked apart. He changed everybody's perception of him and his capabilities.
Yeah, I told him I couldn't agree more. I didn't think he would outbox the guy. I thought if he was gonna win, he had to catch him. Well, yeah, I told him he's crazy. You know, kind of with the wrestling background. I'm scared to jump into a professional boxing ring. I'm like, you're nuts.
Yeah, we had a chance to talk to him after the fight, and he was saying, he goes, you know, I knew I hit hard. He goes, my coaches were pumping me up. He's talking about how he's been working so much, especially since the time you guys had the chance to compete with each other and working on his striking and the growth that we've seen since then. And man, shout out to Jimmy Barnes, undefeated pro fighter.
Yeah, fuck yeah, and the fucker earned it too. He looked good, like Damien said. He looked like a damn boxer.
Yeah,
you know, flipping and sliding and he looked great. Very, very impressive.
Yeah, man.
He did a great job.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be there live. It was kind of crazy. Well, I guess not the first time. It wasn't that many people there, or I guess no, there was a lot of people there. But there just was nobody making any noise at one of these fights, right? But this fight, there was nobody there, so there was like no noise. But the only other fight that I can compare to actually was amateur boxing match, and it was TJ's boxing match.
Yes.
At a golf club.
Yes. It was.
Oh my god!
Just his mom there cheering.
No, man, no. It was the weirdest environment ever. I literally took this fight on 6 hours' notice. We were at the gym in the morning sparring, And then as soon as we get done sparring, Jim Clark, my coach, got a call and said they had fight fall through at a country club in Hopkins for some amateur boxing show that night. It's on a Wednesday. And he goes, yeah, and he goes, they need a heavyweight. And so Jim goes, do you want to fight? And I was like, I'll fight. My only condition is I have to be the first fight because I got to work tonight. So I got to fight and then be able to get showered up and go to work. And so Jim tells them, they agree. We show up, and it was the most odd setting ever. Me and Damien were joking in the locker room. I mean, it was like wood lockers with gold plates.
I was allowed to corner for some reason.
Fuck.
Why was I allowed to corner?
Well, you came with me as a corner, and then like it didn't have like the official amateur boxing license or something, but they let you get in still. And so I had a random guy I've never met in my life in the corner.
Like $300 or something. My bad. I was expecting to pay like $300. Like it just. Sorry.
Yeah.
Now go on, TJ. My bad.
Yeah, no, so I show up with Damien. The only person I know in the whole building is Damien. And so they show some random guy who heard Damien yelling at me during the first round, like, TJ, go, go, go. He just jumps into my corner in between the first rounds because I technically don't have a corner because Damien can't do it. And he heard Damien, TJ. So he's just like, all right, TJ, this is what you got to do. You got to breathe. And he's just giving me full advice. And I'm like, all right, shout out to this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, stepping up.
But the whole setting, it wasn't like a crowd. We were at a country club in Hopkins, and everybody was at like dinner tables. They were all eating dinners. Everybody had collars on. Everybody had khakis. It was the oddest environment ever. There was, like Damien said, not a peep. The whole time we're fighting, you could literally just hear punches and heavy breathing. That's all it was.
Jeepers, man.
It was definitely an odd environment.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Man.
So,
it was a lot of fun. Oh man,
to say the least.
it was okay. So I kept joking to teach the whole time. Am I cutting out again?
You're good on my end.
Okay, so I was saying like one of the things like I kept saying to TJ the whole time is like I feel like this place is whites only. And I kept telling TJ I'm like. He said, do you think we should take my hands? I'm like, yes, massa. just being fun as fuck. And like all the white people are like looking at me like, yeah, that's right.
Oh man.
Okay.
The winner of this fight is getting auctioned off.
Man, like I said, it was a crazy environment at like 5 p.m. on a Wednesday.
Yeah, just nobody. No diehards really there. It sounds like just.
No, people are just trying to eat their dinner. And meanwhile, people are fighting in the middle of the room.
It's like, fight for my entertainment, peasant.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely what it felt like, especially being the first fight of the night because there was no table setters. It was literally just like, and I don't know if you've ever been to an amateur boxing fight. There's no walkout music. They play the national anthem and people start fighting. That's it. So you just walk out, no noise. People are just staring at you. You get in the ring and you start fighting a guy. And it's just, I had no comparison before. I have no comparison after. It was a one-time event for sure.
Yeah, that's nuts, man.
So I mean,
I gotta go to work fucking at 7 o'clock. You know, can you make this happen?
I gotta be at work today. But,
it wasn't a professional fight, but he definitely got paid that night.
Yay!
8 hours.
8 hours.
Enough of the nonsense. Getting back to you a little bit. I mean, this is such a weird time we're in right now with all sporting events pretty much on pause. I mean, pretty much everybody's playing the controller. They hit pause to go grab lunch, and we're kind of just stuck here on the pause screen. I mean, did you have anything lined up before this happened, or were you kind of just in relaxation mode beforehand?
We're gonna fight May someday on that LFA card, and that was the plan. I think they're trying to bump it to July, like 24th or something. And what? Who knows? You know, who knows when that's if it's gonna happen then or not? You know, it's kind of like you said. It's just like you said. Everybody press pause. You know, nothing's open. You know, what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it dude, it definitely is an interesting time to be alive. Hashtag 2020.
It's 2020 for life. They
Yeah.
even the
Maybe.
Olympics got pushed off. Like I wrestled a couple guys or whatever that are and then it's a mess.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The NCAA tournament too, man. They should that
Yeah.
broke my heart. That
Man,
broke my heart.
Dude, yep.
that sucks, especially with it being in Minnesota. 3 native Minnesotans going for national titles. I mean, that would have been the storybook ending. But for them to pause the Olympics, the first time ever in a non-wartime situation,
Yeah.
I mean, that just shows the magnitude of what the hell are people doing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but them kids aren't gonna get a chance. They're men. But this could be their last hurrah. They don't get it back. At least Olympics, they can get another try at it. Not saying that that's any better. Maybe this was your year. Next year it ain't gonna be your year anymore. But when you got 1 year you got your last year to maybe get on the podium, and then they say no. Oh, they teased them too. They teased them and said we're just not gonna have anybody there, and then we're gonna go wrestle. And then like a week before they go, actually. It's I don't know. It's too bad. It's just too bad. It's a shame.
Yeah.
How,
No, go ahead, Damien. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
No, I would say, yeah, for those kids, like you said, I mean, when it's the dream, and I mean, obviously being better safe than sorry, I mean, such a cliche statement, but I mean, like you said, when you don't get a chance to do that back, and I've heard stories of them looking at maybe adding another year of eligibility and things like that, but like I said, when it's a fight, you can pause it. The Olympics, some unheard of, but it's been postponed. But for a lot of these things, and it's not just obviously wrestling or combat sports. Sports in general are just on pause. And I mean, what have you been doing? Are you been stuck in the house? Are you able to get out and go to work? I mean, what's life been like for Tom Peterson?
I've still been working. We're essential, right? I guess I'm a mechanic for ready mix construction, so we're still going. And it's just been weird. Like they've been passing things that we got to do at work and stuff. All that good stuff. And then but for the gym, I was getting in there right away, kind of wherever working out still a little bit, and then they locked us all down, or they locked the gyms down. We don't want to. It is what it is. Hopefully it'll clear up in a week or two, and then things can go back to. Actually, what did they move it till? They moved it till April or something. The
10th, I think.
Yeah, so until April 10th, hopefully we can get back in. Yeah, it's right away it's nice. Okay, I deserve a break. I've been doing this for so long. I can recharge and get my itch back. Because I took that fight quick from my. Not saying it was that I didn't want it, but I wanted it. But I was like, all right, we're gonna take a month off and kind of recharge the batteries. But now I want to go again. It's you got the itch back. You want to fight. And I was thinking about getting 3 more fights. I wanted to get 4 more. I wanted to have 4 fights by the end of the year. But I was on the roll to get 3 or 4 more. I might have had 6 fights. But
this is one of the things that me and TJ have been discussing back and forth.
Yeah.
The promoters are definitely going to want to put on shows as soon as possible so they can make their money, and with fighters feeling the itch and being drawn back or whatever, do you feel like that this makes you want to jump back into it as soon as possible, as soon as the first opportunity that there is to fight again, that you want to fight? Or do you want to, and other fighters as well, do you think that they want to take time, or you want to take time to train and get back in gym shape and then potentially fight shape again before taking a fight again?
Well, I think like you said that when you take the itch, I think that any real competitor gets that when they're not competing, it itches at you. There's a reason why it's called an itch, is because you're like, I want to be fighting.
You
The first. This is and then it gets worse and worse and worse, man. Like It does. There's a reason why people do this shit. There's a reason why people get in a damn cage. It's not because they think that that they're it's fun, it's competitive, it's an itch. It's all. I compare it to heroin, man. Once that shit's inside you, it's hard to get it out of you once you've done it. So that's exactly what it is. You're going through withdrawal. You want to fight. You want to go back. You want to get exhausted. You want to burn some energy out. Hit some stuff. So it's kind of we've been doing projects around the house and kind of staying busy, but it's I want to fight.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
So pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And I think, and back to your question. Like I think that people will want it. People are biting at the bit, wanting to go at it. And I think that a lot of guys, maybe Jimmy. I think Jimmy Barnes wants to damn fight. He just comes to mind just because he was the last person I think fought before this bullshit in the local circuit, right?
Yeah.
But I think anybody who's been competing is gonna want to jump at the bit, begging Jeremy, begging all these promoters probably let me fight, let me get on this card,
Yeah.
So I think it'll be a fun, like you said, when the stuff opens back up, it's gonna be fireworks for the first couple events where just fun fights.
Okay, TJ, you finally have somebody that agrees with you.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I've been saying, and it's not the sense of like, because it's more where the fans want fights, and that's why.
Yeah.
I hate to. As much as we keep this local, just the Tony Habib fight.
Yeah.
Dana's so adamant about having this fight. He's like, the fucking fans need this fight, and people are like, oh, you shouldn't have the fight. He's like, I'm gonna have this fucking fight. So I think as soon as this calms down and people are okay with getting back into public settings, because I can't remember. I hate not being able to name who we've talked to, but we've done a lot of interviews. But someone mentioned earlier this week that it's going to be more of the fans being comfortable in a public setting as well. People have to be okay with coming. Yeah, thank you, Caitlin Young. And she was saying how the fans have to be okay with getting back into that situation. So once that does happen, I think if we're not seeing fights every month, we're going to see some crazy cards, because these promoters need to put on fights for the fans to see. Obviously, they need to make up lost revenue, and having fighters like yourself and everybody, because like you said, I feel like true competitors want to fight right now. Are they in the best shape? No. Are they doing the most they can do? No. And it's not because it's their choice. It's because of the situation we're dealt, the cards they have right now. But people want to compete. Fans want to see them compete. So I think, just from an outside perspective, it'd be silly of the promoters to not try to put on shows immediately.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, can I interject really quick just to play devil's advocate?
Of course.
So let's say everybody's down. All of the fighters are down to fight. All the promoters are willing to put on the fights. But so that's two, But let's say the coach and the manager doesn't want their fighter to fight this quick right away, or the family of the fighter isn't willing to come to the fight this quick after the situation ends. They don't want them to fight. They don't want them in front of the crowd, because let's say I
takes one person
spread breathing or whatever. I don't fucking know, but like if you touch somewhere where somebody sneezes or breathes or coughs or whatever, right? You could get it. But let's say you're inside the cage with 24 other guys. There's 12 fights on the card. 24 people, and you're most likely going to be the main event, and I'm just saying you right there for that situation. But like anybody else, they're going to be exposed to that. Are their families, are their teammates, are their coaches going to want them to be exposed to that? Are they going to just say, hey, let's play it safe? Because like just how it is, it's easy to talk a fighter, not easy to talk a fighter out of a fight, but when you get the trust of a fighter to let them know, hey, let's not take this fight right now. Let's take this fight first, and then let's go after such and such fight that you want, But let's build you up to that fight, you know? Now, that's just me playing devil's advocate, you know? Just how does that play a factor?
Well, if the government or whatever says open the doors and we're fighting, right, in the coronavirus or whatever, people are still worried about that. I don't live my life. I might be ignorant, but I don't live my life where I get in a cage and fight for fun. You know how many people die in a cage? You know how many people die driving down the road? I'm not saying I wish ill upon anybody. I don't, but I'm just don't live my life of being afraid of walking out the door in the morning. I live my life. I hate to be cliche, a quarter mile at a time, fast and furious bullshit. And
I don't mean to cut you off. Believe it or not, by the time this airs, that's gonna be the second Fast and the Furious reference this week, and that's the dopest shit ever. Because this is the second time it's been brought up tonight. My bad. Go.
Oh no, it's true though. It's true. You can't. And people might think I'm an idiot. People might think I'm ignorant, which, they can think that. I'm not a politician. I'm not a doctor, but I refuse to live my life being afraid of the boogeyman. If it, that's just who I am. That's just how I've always been, and I'm gonna do what I want to do as long as it's not hurting anybody else, or I try to abide by the laws and whatnot. But I'm not gonna be afraid. That's just who I am. I guess this is the short way to put it. I'm not gonna quote him again, TJ. Don't be looking at me like that. I'm not gonna do it again. So if I get a chance, if I get the call that says, "Hey Tom, we're fighting in 3 weeks, be in shape." Let's say we're still in whatever lockdown, but hey, we're planning on scheduling here. I'll get in shape. It won't be. It's hard for me to stay in shape when I don't got a carrot in front of my face. It takes me about 3 weeks to get into shape, and so yeah. So if the promoter's ready, he's got the day set, and we can fight, I'm gonna be there.
So.
Yeah.
You kind of mentioned it there, and it's such an I'm sorry, Damien. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, TJ.
Fuck you.
I'm just saying 3 weeks to get into shape. That's pretty much like your coach looking at you and telling you, "Hey, I owe you a 10-second car," and he tosses you the keys.
We're gonna keep racking up these Fast and the Furious references because I feel like at this point we have to do it. But I mean, like you said, I mean, it's such an arbitrary thing to think about. But no,
is that kind of?
Sorry, what was that?
You cut out again, but it was lit.
Yeah, you cut out. What'd you say?
You go ahead. Go ahead.
All right,
I was gonna say you mentioned it. I mean, it's an arbitrary thing, but is it safe to say that that's the amount of time you would need? 3 weeks. As long as you have 3 weeks, you're comfortable taking the fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's all I had. Damien, go.
I can't remember what I was saying before that because I remember what I said earlier about the 10-second car, and I guess being able to get ready that fast. What are you doing to stay into relative gym shape and potential fight shape?
Well, like my job, I'm not saying that being a mechanic is hard or nothing, but like I lift a lot of heavy stuff every day, and then I get home and me and the old lady will go on a walk, go on a run, and it's nothing compared to fighting. Like, don't get me wrong, but when the doors open, I'd be, as long as I had a heads up, like I stay in shape. I don't balloon up or nothing. I just naturally do, and then I'd be hitting hill sprints. I'd be I got buddies that can hold gloves. I got I'm sure people will be willing to help me get to that point. Get in shape. I'm not saying I can do it all by myself, but I'd get there. I'd be in shape and I'd be willing to fight. There'd be no doubt in my mind.
Man, and whenever that moment may be, I'm extremely excited. I know you were shooting for May, and with the situation, I mean, hopefully that's still a possibility. If not, as soon as possible, I'd like to see you back in there. But just before we do wrap it up here tonight, Tom, I always like to give an open platform just to thank any teammates, sponsors, anybody outside the gym At this point, you've been on the show quite possibly more than anybody. You know the drill. Open platform.
All right, I'd like to thank my wife, Corey Peterson, for being the best, and then I want to thank Spartan Martial Arts. Tom and all them guys are great in there, and then I want to thank I want to thank Work Gym Boxing. James really helped me get my hands tight, and and then I want to thank Soto Construction, and I want to thank Rye Gun Trucking and Custom Hose, all kind of here in the local circuit for construction companies. And I just want to thank you guys. You guys are great. You guys are fun. I enjoy seeing your content all the time. You guys are great. And then that's all I can think of right now. But there's a lot more. There's a lot more of you guys out there.
Man, well, thank you, man. We really appreciate it. We're nothing without the fighters, and honestly, I feel like trash talk is the shit. I'm pretty cool, and TJ's a bitch. But
It evens out.
But together, combination works.
Yeah,
works.
it evens out.
Yeah.
Yeah. The scale does its thing, but Tom, like Damian said, we're nothing without the fighters, man. Really do appreciate you always talking to us and giving us the time. As for the people watching this, yes, you right there, like this video, subscribe to Trash Talk with Damian and TJ. Rule number 1.
Yo,
Oh, man.
I don't know if